was trying to get on top of the plowing this morning. The snow is kind of this light stuff that just wants to pile up. It stays all day and just keeps piling up, piling up. So I went down to make a couple passes, hooked a big old rock that was along the edge, hooked into it and pulled and yanked, and managed to break my lifting arm right at the bolt hole for the sway limiter link, I guess you'd call it. So I'm gonna have to take this off and weld it up. There's no other way to get around it right now, so I'm gonna have to bevel these down a ways. So that's pretty thick plate. I was, I don't know, half a mile from the house when it broke, so then I had to just drag it like this, and luckily dragging it like that, it kind of stayed almost in the plowing position, so it wasn't too bad. Another 1.5 inches of fresh snow accumulated since I plowed, and there's a lot of road left that needs attention. It's supposed to kind of let up this afternoon, and we'll see if it does, but I think we're in for it for the next 2 or 3 days. It's gonna kind of be stormy weather, so I got to make sure this thing's ready to go and plenty usable without any interference or problems. Just a clean break right through that center of that bolt hole, which I guess makes sense. That's limiting here, and this pole's hard enough. I don't know, probably wouldn't take all that much force and have it to repeat a fence. That old pin has not moved for a long time. Oh, that's cool. Steel pin, cast iron housing, no movement for a long time. I'm gonna have to get the torch, heat that up, and see if I can drive it out. If it don't move, it ain't coming off of there. Well, I've officially beat the heck out of the end of that pin, and nothing seems to have moved at all or come loose. So I guess we're gonna do it the hard way, not the easy way. Okay, all right, I'm gonna need to preheat that whole thing, but let me get the welder out and set up here so that when I'm ready to weld, I don't have to try to preheat everything and then get everything all set up. That way I'm ready to weld while it's still hot and it's not cooling down. I'm gonna put this little welder to task. I haven't tried welding anything this thick with it yet. It's supposed to be rated for that kind of capacity, but we're gonna find out. We're gonna crank that thing right to the ceiling and see what it'll do. See if it can handle that. 200 amps, 25 volts. I don't need the whole thing glowing cherry red. That'll make the weld really weird. So I'll probably get it close to cherry red, and then I'll let it kind of cool as I'm getting the other one, and I can get a good penetration weld. Probably should have just set it up there and spot welded it, tack welded it, get it together and positioned, and then gone to heating it. Then we'll lose some heat while I do that. It's not bad. That should kind of keep it from pulling or twisting or anything too much. I think I want to put a little bit more heat on it real quick, especially the tractor side of it. I think we'll just go like heck with that and see if we can zip it up. It's burning in pretty good, so probably gonna do the trick. That looks okay. It's really burning in well. Taking a minute to cool the tip a little bit too. I don't want to overheat that thing and burn it. Uh-oh, right as I got the end, felt it stick in the tip. But I think that's got it pretty much welded. Grind off the slag and clean up the weld and look at that real close. Oh, I need just a little bit more on the one side there. And then we'll probably be okay. I'm gonna need to use my carbide burr and die grinder to clean up the bolt hole for that. That won't be a big deal. Oh, that's right. Can't keep working until I change the tip. What happens when it gets too hot and you just let it weld up? Put those away before I make a mess of them. Okay, go time number 2. Almost there. All right, I think that's got it now.
I know exactly what I'm going to use as a welder, especially if I'm in the back house.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I think that's gonna work for now. Hey.
How's it going? Are you getting ready?
Yeah. You're gonna need the pole saw.
I got the pole saw. That's the only one I have. Do you need me to get the other one?
No, I don't imagine. It's just that one limb that one's a real problem. Everything else is pretty well okay. There might be 1 or 2 others. All right. Okay, I think that'll do. Need that part to get unbolted so I can send it through. And then I think we're done. Get right to the end, and you don't want to come off. Oh, everything is lovely. Okay, let's get tools put away. See if we can get this thing hooked back up. And then we can begin the adventure of deciding what's the next thing to break. Okay, I got all my gear on. Now we just need to hook that up and let her rip. Let me get this hooked up real quick. Hopefully that doesn't break right away. Yeah, you can just follow me with it.
Okay.
All right, I think that'll work.
Okay.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Finally.
Yeah, no kidding. Storm's almost over. Oh, good. Look, Mark has chains on everything. That's good.
I don't want to drop the plow right now because I've got it set for pushing it to my right, which is what I need for the main road. For my roads, I need it pushing to my left. So I'm going to leave it alone, leave it up, because I've already hit my road, so I'm pretty well okay. There's another 2.5 inches or so on top of it. That just means it's that much deeper on the main road. Well, I think I better just take it from the road right here at the top of my driveway and just start over basically. So we'll do that. See what other mischief we can cause. Seems to be going fine. Angle's good, but it's throwing off of there, not building up. Still pretty good. All right, here we go. It's a little tough to gauge sometimes just exactly how far to my left that blade is hanging. That's why every now and again I get kind of hung up in the dirt. I get just a little bit too close to that uphill bank and it wants to dig into the dirt. We'll try to avoid that, with the exception of the one big rock that caused this problem to begin with. We're definitely going to hook it. It's loose. We're going to definitely hook that thing and get it pulled across the road and discharged off the downhill side. Might even have Logan and Ola stop and grab it. Just toss it off the road so that it's not making a problem.
That's what got him last time. Get out of the burrow.
This is where it gets just
pull your weight off.
a little tough to tell. And there's a wave, such a wave in that uphill side.
We got to go pull a big rock out, Logan.
You easily get too close, too far, too close, too far. Here's that big rock coming right up just now. Just see the dark shadow of it against the edge there. Pull it. Oh, there we go.
Oh, I thought that's what it was, but I guess not.
Come on, get it.
He might have already moved it.
See, now it's going to build up.
What's all that snow buildup? Jeez. Look at all that snow. Oh, it's moving off. There it goes. Maybe? There it goes.
That's the one thing that sucks about blading with a rear mounted blade like this. Once it builds up, it builds up. See all that mess? You're gonna have to stop and try to do something with it.
Making a snowman?
No. I need you to move so I have room to work. See if I can back into it. Just push it up off the bank. This is perfect snowman snow. Definitely packing harder every time we go over it.
There it goes.
There we go.
That's right.
All right. Let's just get this stuff moving. Get a little bit more speed here and see if we can discharge that better. That's going to be a hard pain in the butt to move. I think she's going to try and stop and get this limb.
We have all these branches we need to kind of fix when we come back around, okay? Especially this one. See how far it's leaning? Yeah, we're going to need to do that one.
You want us to take care of that one real quick?
Yeah, I can do that.
You just cut it back as far as you can reach and toss it over.
I'll get this branch, but I saw a few others that I need to take care of, and I probably will. This is where it's like the messiest.
Yeah.
So I just want to start here.
This is really the worst of it. Just these couple that are laying down and hanging way over.
Yeah. All righty.
Okay, I'll be back in a few.
Okay, sounds good. Okay, Logan, let's get this going. Now let's go ahead and grab these sticks and throw them over, yeah. Yep, pick up that branch and just throw it over over the fence. Throw it way over so it's not on the fence because I don't want the fence to get broken. Okay, and those two. Hey Logan, let's take this branch, just throw it way over in the fence, deep in the woods. Okay, and then grab this branch and put it over there too, okay? All right, and then we'll keep going. Okay, that's cleared. We need to go clear all those bushes over there. So let's drive down there and start clearing that. It's hitting all the cars and it's gonna break off and ruin that person's fence. So we need to help them out. That looks like it's just a small section there. This feels like real winter, doesn't it, Logan?
Just like that.
Yep, just like that. Make sure they're not on the fence. Good job. Okay, watch. This one's gonna be kind of heavy. I think that's the last one. You want to get that one off the fence? Make sure their fence ain't ruined. This one, I'm gonna do this one. Watch out. There we go. I took some weight off. You're a really good helper, Logan. I appreciate you.
That looks great.
That looks good, yeah?
Yeah, heck yeah.
All right.
Heck yeah, that looks great.
Honey, you just are amazing with that little tractor.
It does a lot of work for what
I wish I
little
had
bit it is.
$50,000 sitting around to get you a cabbed one. But you know what? You got to be a little uncomfortable to be living this kind of life. That's a little uncomfortable.
You can't go through life being completely comfortable. You got to be able to be a little bit uncomfortable and just be fine with it. So
yeah, Mark does such a good job plowing this road, don't you think? It's nice to have.
Every time I see the sun, the rooster crows for day. And every time I see that gal, she always looks away. Hell, she always looks away. Hold on, baby, just hold on. I'll be coming home, back where I belong.
it's doing all right. Doing all right. 2 more passes and we'll have this thing nicked.
That's what the boys did over there. They had 2 big balls right there. That's funny. Such a
Snowman
goofy
rolling.
guys, huh?
There. Building a snowball and rolling.
Snow's
it.
perfect. It's nice to be outside.
They'll think that's all fun and games until they hit my fence and have to go fix it.
Sunday morning,
Oh, there goes Mark. Don't go off the edge there.
y'all seen them late last night. Go out and shake that thing.
I'm gonna give you the camera. I gotta go get goggles. My eyeballs are hurting.
Oh, I bet.
Do you want one of these?
No, I'm fine.
Okay.
There is a pair hanging on the hook by the stove, by the wood stove in the shop.
Okay.
They're not very good pair. I've got your pair because the kids lost mine.
Yeah, that's what they do.
That's what they do. Can't have shit in Detroit.
All right, we'll be back.
To the downhill side. And that stuff's so heavy and wet. I'm gonna shoot that pretty. If I go too steep, it'll just push me sideways. It'll glance off the snow and not move it. And if I go too flat, it'll build up and not push and roll off. So it should probably take the slack that way as that edge of the blade loads up. I'm gonna kind of straddle that rim row again. So I should be hitting it mostly here, throwing it. So I will pull one more standard pull going downhill like this. And then when I change and put the blade hanging off the side, I'll do that coming back up. I probably won't have it all the way on the ground. Okay.
In the shed I waste my days. Tonight I go to town. Well, I'm up still at the good time gals. Always good.
See if I get too deep into the pile. Once we boil out that leading side, that left side, boil over, it'll leave a mess in the road, and I don't want that.
Back where I belong. Baby, it won't
Some of these spots, like right through here, the road is a bit narrower. The uphill side has a big, tall dirt berm where it's cut into. The downhill side doesn't necessarily have a tall berm, but it does right at the fence. So the road is actually like a trough through there, and it makes it such a pain in the butt because the snow doesn't want to climb up over the fence side and get off of the road just because it's still deep, it's down in. So it won't climb up high enough, and it doesn't matter how far over I push, it just won't go high enough. In this kind of an instance, a taller moldboard would help. If that plow blade was, say, 24 inches or 30 inches tall instead of 12 and a half or whatever this one is, it would help the snow carry up the blade a little higher and then allow it to roll off higher and farther over. Right now it pitches forward and scoops out. It's only getting up about 16, 18 inches high, maybe, something like that, maybe 20 inches. You can see where it comes off the very end, it comes off at a higher angle, and a taller moldboard will help with that. It'll help get that snow moving at a more of an upward angle instead of just a forward and over.
I'm getting right in for it, twinkling in her eye. Little gas ain't got me yet.
It's hard to have a very tall moldboard on the back of the tractor, because then it's taller than the tractor is and you can't get it hooked up. So then you need to be on the front, and the front has its benefits, but it also has its problems as well. So we'll just do what we can. Over that cattle guard, I like to really slow down and let it just kind of take its time over. Lets the blade kind of float up and over it. When the snow's really deep, and if I have my snow plow blade on the front of the tractor and the rear blade on, sometimes that's a good way to balance the accumulation, the amount of snow. So I could set the front snow plow, say 8 or 10 inches off the ground. If we had, say, a 12 or 15 or 18 inch storm, I could set that front snow plow at like 8 inches off the ground and take the top half with the front blade and the bottom half with the bottom blade. And then I'm not overloading either blade with too much snow. I'm being able to take it off and clear it easily. I don't have the blade on the front right now, so I'm not actually moving any snow, I'm just knocking it down so it clears underneath the tractor better. Everything's holding up okay. Looks like our weld is holding just fine, so that's good. Swing this over. I think I generally have it like that, but I think I might go just a little bit flatter. There we go. Because I'm probably not going to take, like I said, I'll probably leave that just off of the ground. Where we get up here, we have deeper stuff to worry about, then it's going to be more problem. This whole section is pretty good because there's a pretty good drop off the downhill side of the road. That allows me to really send it off the road and get it out of the way. We had kind of back-to-back, I don't know, 4 days or something of on and off snow, and we had a rainstorm in the middle of that also that really kind of made a hot mess of everything. You can see all that snow and slush turned into kind of an icy layer, and that is no fun to drive on. But today is day 2 of really nice warm temperatures. Yesterday it got up to like, I don't know, 36, 38 degrees, something like that. And the sun was kind of spotty, so it didn't really warm up. But today, I think we've got to be in the mid 40s already. And the sun's out and shining bright, so everything's starting to melt and trickle and run. So I'm going to take advantage of that and do one more scraping on this road and try to get that slush and ice layer carved down. I definitely want the road frozen, so if I can get rid of that insulating layer, then the dirt and ground will freeze and turn into basically like concrete. And that's better than having ice that's frozen on top, especially for springtime. When it comes spring, if we got 3-4 inches of ice and snowpack built up, that will just be wet forever on that road, and I'm not sure if the road will survive it. So I'm going to take advantage of it right now and get scraping some of this and try to see what I can do to get as much of that material moved off of the road and all the way off. And it might be warm enough that I can actually get the berm of snow from the downhill side of the road and actually bucket off the road rather than having it built up there and creating a wall that's hard to get past. So let's see if we can do any good with that today.
Take me back to the old dirt road where Mama and Papa used to go. Let's sing all them songs from a long time ago and pine for them old days of yore. Well, let me run through the breeze like the leaves on the trees. Let me fly like the leaves when they fall. Well, let my mind go serene like a cool water stream that runs from the mountain so tall. Oh, take me back down the old dirt road. Take me home to rest where the mockingbirds nest and to cry through the green in the spring. Let's go back a ways to the old bygone days and the simple time we lived back when. Well, let the pull of the plow bring the sweat from my brow, and the glow of the fire pull me home. Let me wind down my days in the sweet dusty haze. Take me back down the old dirt road. Oh, take me back down the old dirt road. Take me back down the old dirt road.
Well, I don't know if you can tell or not, but I'm going substantially slower than I have been while I'm plowing today. And part of that is there's no new snow, so there's a way less volume of snow to move. So I don't need to go as fast and have it discharge and really throw it as far. Secondly, and probably more importantly, I'm going with the blade at a more perpendicular angle to my travel. And I've rolled the blade forward a little bit so that the actual cutting edge is a little bit more perpendicular to the ground rather than rolled back and shaving into it. It's coming across at a more of a scraping edge. Two reasons that the slower speed and that steeper angle is to try to give that blade more time to really gouge down into that slushy ice and really peel through it. I want to give it time to set down in there and get a good bite and break it apart and break it off as I go across, rather than going at a shaving angle at a faster pace where it will just kind of glance off of it. And the point is to try to get as much of this water off the road as I can right now. So it seems to be working out well. And some spots where there's lots of sun on the road, it is just turning into straight slush, and I'm getting right down into a good layer where there's just a real thin layer of ice and then road, and you can see how dirty and mucky the slush is. And some of that's road, but it's mostly slush and ice coming off. And then other spots where I'm in the shade, the road is very much in the shade most of the day and all day, doesn't get a lot of sun on there. You can see that that's just a real good snowpack ice layer in there still. So we're doing minimal difference in those areas. But the warm temperature is still worth taking advantage of, trying to get as much of this taken care of as I can today. The more I can get off now, the less I have to worry about in the springtime.